All right. Hey, it's so good for me to be here. The topic is Tina Turner's song. I don't look like Tina Turner. But one of the key things is love is such an interesting word. I call it that way, a new take on our favorite four-letter word. It doesn't start with F. I mean food. What is love? What would be love in your own definition? What would it be? So I decided to ask the guru. Because I couldn't quite understand. And like what Jeff said, we really don't know what we're talking about. So I decided to ask the smartest person on earth today. Her name is called Siri. So I said, Siri, what is love? Siri said, let me think about it. And this was her reply. Number 1, strong positive emotion of regard and affection. Number 2, an object of warm affection or devotion. Number 3, a beloved person used as terms of endearment. Number 4, a deep feeling of sexual desire and attraction. And number 5, a score of 0 in tennis or squash. And I thought I'd venture a little bit further, right? And I said, Siri, do you love me? And this is what Siri said. How can I tell? And I ventured a little bit more. I said, I love you. This one not bad. This one not bad. But really, if you think about it, what is love? I was contemplating, I was just telling some of your friends that love is really not an academic subject. I don't want to make it very academic. But I'd like to leave you at least 5 things that people agree on the subject of love. And these are them. Love means different things to different people in different contexts. Love means different things to different people to different contexts. I mean, if you ask a kid, they are not my children. I have a 5-year-old daughter. Her name is Megan, and a 3-year-old daughter, her name is Meredith. Megan came home. Megan was talking with my brother and my sister-in-law. And Megan said this that caught my ear. My ex-boyfriend. I turned to her and said, what do you mean by ex-boyfriend? You mean you had a boyfriend? Yes. To a baby, to a kid like a 5-year-old, you know what she says to me? Daddy, I love you. I said, I love you too. Do you think we both mean the same thing? Maybe, I hope. But she tends to say it a lot louder when I come home with a Care Bear. You get what I'm trying to say? So what is love? I'll just leave the 5 things and we're going to talk very quickly. The 5 Greek words that most people associate love with. I mean, the English language sometimes can be very limiting. If you take the Chinese language or you take Greek, for example, you can spread out right through. Because there are different types of love. What are the 5 different types of love? Agape, eros, philia, storge, thelema. What are they? Agape is really like unconditional love. There's a sense of sacrifice to it. There's a sense that, I love you or I love this with no expectations of something in return. That's agape love. And then you got eros. This one you are very familiar with. Eros is the root word of... Don't be so innocent, lah. Come on. Eros is the root word of erotic. Eros. A passionate, sensual type of love. In the Greek, normally between 2 human beings. Okay? Philia, which is really about friendship. Used in context of friendship, relationship, even sometimes parents or siblings. But really, it's mutual. It's a friendship type of love. That I love my friend. I love this place. I love what I'm doing. But I love doing this together with you. That's really friendship type of love. And then you got storge. In the Greek language, is almost exclusively used in the context of family. I love my children very, very much. There's really nothing else, very, very little things that will take that kind of love away. And that's a storge love that I have of my offspring. All right? My children. And then thelema, desire. Sometimes our desire, I love the new iPhone. Now, that love is very different from I love my children, which is storge. I love my wife, which is eros. I love my best friend, which is philia. And unconditional, a bit harder. But love is quite different from lust. We all lust after something. If there are 5 types of love, can I also suggest there are 5 types of lust? These are the things that we lust for. The most famous one about lust will be sexual lust. We lust after someone. 2, we lust after money. You can lust after money. You can't do a lot physically with money, but you can do a lot with money. Sometimes people lust for power. Why? Because they long for it. They desire it so much that it consumes them. Sometimes people lust for fame. And sometimes people lust for material goods. Things that will satisfy them. Those are the 5 types of lust, are the 5 things that we lust for. The 5 types of love that you and I will go through in our daily lives, and the 5 types of lust that you and I will have at some point or another. But what's the key difference? Is there a key difference between the two? Let me suggest this, and I typically into half an hour, so my time is about there. Let me sum it up this way for you, right? I don't want to make it too academic, but let me sum up this way for you. When you talk about both agape, eros, philia, storge, and thelema, when we talk about love, it's almost always about others. Almost always. When we talk about unconditional love, it's always about for someone, on behalf of someone. When you talk about having eros, a relationship with, I mean, some of you, you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, and you sing the song, How Great Thou Art, right? We have this ability. I saw a really funny one. I wanted to download it, A friend put on Facebook with this picture that says, the awkward moment where you see the hottest person ever and you walk into the mirror. But almost always, when we talk about love, it's always someone else. Almost always. But when we talk about lust, almost always, it's about self.